You looking for me, you can find me at the barbershop. Pulling up to get a cut, bumping through the parking lot. I keep it clean, Rico's where I'm running to. If you in the city, then you probably gonna be coming to. Gang getting down, Red's getting down, Nick getting down, Ron getting down, just to name a few. Everybody blade on point. You trying to get fresh, I'm telling you this the joint. Hands down, top shop up in this vicinity. Promises age 9, LaRon been getting me. Temper on the side, I'm trying to grow out the waves.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the K.O.S. Barber Club podcast, where we discuss the collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. And we do so by interviewing a guest and walking with them throughout their beginning to where they're on now. And we identify where they obtained knowledge of self, where they created a self-concept, and how they just went about their day-to-days to be the successful person that they are today. And with me today, I got a special guest. I heard him talking really loud, but speaking facts, and I hit him up, and I was like, yo, you got to hit up the podcast as soon as possible. So without further ado, my boy, Colombian.
Yes, Colombian.
Dashius Clay.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate you to the fullest for having me.
Yeah, man, like I told you, you were speaking the truth, and I was like, damn, hell yeah, that's what we need. To change, or like we were talking about Tupac earlier, to give the spark to someone to either create, take the first step to do something, or just get to another level, man.
Facts.
Because nowadays it's very difficult to identify who's saying the truth and what's what, because there's so much noise.
Well, I think like I deal with so many like different kinds of artists and people on a daily basis, like, and I see people that like they like to pick up on things of people that they love almost as if they were like parentless, right? Like you don't have a dad to like teach you how to be and like your roots and your morals and your values and your code, right? So like people just take like bits and pieces of people that they like.
Like a buffet.
Yes, and then like the thing is that like most of the people that are like glorified and exemplified are like just random influencers. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So the morale and all that, the morality and everything is all over the map for them. And I think it's important to be like a man's man and have like a code.
Well, it's good that you said father, like figures and dads and things of that nature, because we always like to start there in the podcast. Like, I always ask people, what was your first collective thought, like consciousness? Do you remember when you were a kid?
Yeah, I do actually. It was, I've never spoken this in life to anybody. It's so crazy. I was 5 years old, and I was trying to be, I had just moved from Colombia to America, and I was trying to like play around with some kid, and all of a sudden he grabbed a thing of sand and busted in my face, like just threw the sand in my face. And
Like a snowball?
yeah,
sandball?
But it was like the
Welcome
first.
to Miami?
Yeah, almost like that. But I just remember feeling like, yo, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Right? And like, it was
So that feeling.
And that was the first conscious like thought that I had, like where I was like, yo, there's people that just either don't get it, don't want to get it, like they just effed up in their own way or whatever.
Yeah,
And,
but then again, you never know what that kid's going through, bro. That
No,
kid probably has 3 brothers that beat him up on a daily.
Facts. But I'm saying like, to me, that was just like,
Yeah, that's a no-no.
I was just, it just came so unexpected that like, that was the first time that I was like
5 years old, elementary school, from Colombia, coming here.
maybe 6 years old. Yeah, but
Culture
still.
shock.
Yeah, just the whole sense of like.
So that was a conscious thought. From that thought, where did you like go after that? You were like just day-to-days, or you were
I think I've always, well, at least I've definitely now narrowed it more into like a straight line, but I've always tried to walk amongst people in a way of respect, no matter where I go, to where I treat people in the same way that if I were in their shoes or they were in my shoes. You know,
Yeah.
like I always tell this to people, like I want people to treat, I treat people like I would want them to treat my mother.
I feel you, yeah, like their family and with love. I do the same. I always, when I meet people, I give them love. And then little by little, it starts getting down here. And then it gets to a point that they're like, damn, Gene's an asshole. I'm like, yo, I'm not an asshole. You've done a lot of shit in my face that I've seen and I've heard. I just don't call you out on it. And then so when I tell you the truth, instead of being like, damn, maybe I should be nicer or say this in a nicer way,
See,
I'm just blunt.
For me, I compartmentalize everybody. So like there's certain people that I know I can treat certain ways. There's certain people that I know I can treat this way, that way. There's certain people that I know I'm gonna get love back.
Yeah, I don't have
certain
that much time to
so for me, like I'll treat everybody the same, but mentally know like this person may not be as loving as this person, or this
you
person may be
identify
dry.
the
and
personalities.
I'm already prepared, like in a sense where it doesn't trigger me, or I don't get upset or bothered, or
I mean, you're an artist. You've worked with a lot of people and a lot of personalities, and you've growing up. Let's go there. Okay, so 5 years old, you got slammed in the face with some sand.
I got bullied.
So then you started. I guess that's when you started.
I don't know.
Placing people in different.
That's when I started just like opening my eyes to like
evil.
I want to say I
evil,
would want to say the word psychology, but not. I don't think psychology. Like I think psychology is too deep. Like I feel like I always cared about like people and try to like not figure them out, but like respect who they are.
But you know what that is? You were obtaining knowledge yourself because you were understanding. You said it. I'll treat people how I want to be treated. So you were having these thoughts, aggressive thoughts that were kind of leading your decision making.
Facts.
So that's exactly what we're trying to get across here. How did
read
you
the
get to
room?
that? Read the room. Okay, but when you're a kid, you don't know that. When you're a kid, you kind of,
but
you
that's
got to listen to that intuition, that little voice, and then you got to be like, okay. Like I saw the Joe Rogan podcast the other day with Mel Gibson, and they said something that I was like, that is right.
Uh-huh.
He said, never listen to your first thought and always do your first reaction to your second thought. So like you have your first thought, don't listen to that, don't do that.
Yeah.
Then think about it, your second thought, the first action to that.
Oh,
that's the way it should be.
I could 100% agree because first thought is usually trigger thought.
Exactly. That's what they're trying
and
to do.
that's like.
And I found it hilarious because we all know Mel Gibson's story. So it was.
Yeah, facts.
So
but
coming from him, it was like, all right.
But here's the thing. Like, I couldn't teach somebody what I know today from what I know 10 years ago. So I respect it coming from him because I wouldn't want to hear that coming from somebody with no experience and no resume like that.
Exactly.
Like I need to know that you was on your worst. I need to know you was all the way up. I need to know you went back down. I need to know you went back up. Like I need to know.
He's been in both realms.
Those are the people that I can absorb because I'm like, yo,
correct.
You have the experience to teach me. You're not talking out of your ass, like
exactly.
Which is such a big thing today. Like, there's so many people that are famous for giving advice and for doing this and that, and like they don't really know much. They're just talking or stealing from somebody else. And like I could never be. For the people that watch me know that I sometimes go on these rants, and they're so like 3 weeks, 2 months. Like they're so like just
like an implosive thing that you're being holding them in.
Yeah, because it's like I could do this every day, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want it to ever be a gimmick. Like I feel in my heart that it would be like now I'm forcing it, and like I do them when I feel like just like it's screaming out of me, and that's why they're usually so like yes, because I'm like I have to say this, and like I feel like sometimes I'll go through those thoughts for like 30 minutes before I just have to like grab a phone and be like, yo, I'm going to say this because you know what? This is actually important. Or so, like, I don't know.
Do you ever write it down, like lyrically and stuff like that? Or no?
I store feelings in me all the time, on myself all the time. So like these things do come out like in songs or like later rants, or maybe they stack themselves up or refine themselves at a later time. Because, you know, like you said, first thought is not always the right thought. So maybe it's good for me to sometimes hold back for 30 minutes because I can refine the thought a little bit better and word it a little bit in a way that like.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like I do that when I meet people because I'm like, yo, I don't want to offend this person. But once I realize that you're like not even worth that time, I'm just like, yo, whatever, man.
To me, it's like even like when you create a song, right? Like for me, when I create a song, like my songs initially are so complex and complicated that I always, even when I work with artists, I do this a lot. Like I basic things down, and like even the message that I try to give a lot of times, I need time to basic things down.
Okay.
Because I need people to understand it. It's just like music. Like I'll understand it. The artist is always gonna understand the art. But not everybody's an artist, and not everybody's as in depth or as deep as
you think about this. You try to hit up both realms.
Yeah, because I'm like it's got to be intelligent, but it's also got to be understandable.
Yeah, but like
I don't want to talk and then people just be like go over people's head, because then I'm like I completely just like wasted my time.
Well, people say Raekwon's like that sometimes, because he be saying like a mixture of words that have a purpose. But if you're not catching on to what he's saying,
he's
by the 10th bar, you're like, what are you saying? Wait, rewind that.
yes,
Rewind that.
yes.
That's what you're
He
talking
doesn't care to basic down as much.
But it's not basic down. It's very intellectual.
No, facts. But here's the thing, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But
At all.
I'd like to
At
hit
all.
a wider
I prefer
audience.
Yeah, but like
I don't want to leave anybody out because everybody's important to me.
yeah, tells me the same thing all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I understand 100%. But me being a hip hop junkie, I listen to my friends or I listen to artists and I have that 1 second or 2 second attention span that when I catch it, I'm like, that's dope. And then if he does it again, I'm like, that's dope. So
Yeah, I mean, you got to find a balance. You can't go completely Soulja Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you wanna at least like.
You want to dabble in different realms and different
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to leave nobody out, but like
beats.
I'm not gonna basic it down so much that my advanced people aren't gonna catch it.
Yeah, but that's the art of it.
I don't want to.
That's the art.
I think that's the art of it, is like finding the balance,
There you go.
because it's like
It's finding the balance. Okay, but how did you? Okay, we're talking about balance. From let's say elementary school, then you went to middle school. When did you start actually like gravitating towards music?
so like my family is all. I say this so many times. My family's all musicians, except for my mom and my dad.
Okay.
Everybody else is a musician, and like they
like
were
guitar,
yeah,
piano,
like guitar, piano, all this
the
stuff.
whole nine?
So I was attracted to that from the beginning because I was raised in Colombia in a house full of instruments and pianos and guitars and bass guitars and the drums, and so like I was drawn to that. When I came to Florida, I started playing piano, and I had won like second place contest in like this piano competition, and I just remember feeling like, yo, I never want to get second place again. And like I left piano and was like looking for something.
Okay, let's go there. How old were you there?
Maybe like 9 or 10.
And was it anger? Was it sadness? Was it regret?
It was. I went in real cocky. Like I went in like no practice, no nothing. But like
There you go. I bet you practice every time.
But I was a
after
great
that.
student.
God.
But I didn't practice, and I went in there like.
You were like Bruce Leroy.
And then when I get there, it was my first time, like not my first time, but like one of my first times being like the center of attention in front of like 500 people.
Oh wow.
And I got a little bit
nervous?
Yeah, a little nervous. And
That's normal.
but after that, I realized whatever I do, I have to master, and I have to take serious,
Exactly.
and I have to prepare. Like prepare was like the main word.
Message.
Prepare. So like that was like the biggest thing for me to start like me looking for what I wanted to do next.
How old were you there?
Probably like I said, probably like 9 or 10.
Okay, so 9 to 10 years old, you had the experience where you were conscious that somebody did some foul shit. Then you moved on to 10 years old. You competed, tested your skill set, realized, yo, I got to put effort into this. So you're building a self-concept
Yeah.
as you go
Mm-hmm.
with self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. After 10 years old, what happened after that?
I started going through different instruments, and I went through clarinet, I went through drums, I went through trumpet.
Let people know what a clarinet is.
A clarinet is a wood instrument that's like, pause, a long instrument, and that you blow into it. And big pause. And then it was drums, trumpet. I tried a couple of a guitar.
That's awesome, though.
And it just like everything I did, I felt like I was being held back.
From what, the instructors?
From creativity.
Really? You didn't? So it wasn't enough?
I felt, okay, being honest, maybe I felt like I was intimidated in a sense that I couldn't find the pocket.
The comfort zone.
I couldn't find my pocket with those instruments.
All right, so let's
Like
go to the,
with a drum, you could only do
pocket?
so much. With a clarinet, you could only do so much.
I mean, it depends, dude.
So-
because
so
there's people
I-
that zone out with that.
So when I get to middle school, my best friend, his brother was by the name of Eric Oddie. He was like big football player at that time, and he was a rapper.
Yeah.
We used to get on the same bus. I used to try to want to sit in the back, but I couldn't because I was a freshman in middle school, and he was
What school is this, man?
what is the name of the school now?
Well, what area code or where was it?
This is in this was at that time called Bonaventure, which is now called Weston. Tequesta Middle School. Okay.
Up north.
Yes. And he used to sit in the back with all the girls.
Okay.
And all the bad girls. And I used to want to sit back there, and you couldn't sit back there unless you was a rapper.
So you had to start rapping?
No, so I would just watch. And I would just like for months, like, yo, I would idolize this. Like, yo, he gets all the girls, he gets all the attention, and he looked like his whole body was swinging when he was rapping, and his face was changing, and he was pointing at things. And then one day I asked him, I was like, yo, man, like I said, he was my best friend's older brother. So one day I just we was having a cool moment, and I was like, yo, I need to know.
Nice.
And he was like, all right, cool. I'll let you know one day. I'm like, damn.
You gotta pay the dues.
Yeah, like his brother, though, was around him so much that he would like to rap. He never had nobody to rap with, so he was like, I'm going to teach you how to rap.
Oh, nice.
So the next day.
Do you still talk to him?
Yeah, this is still one of my biggest best friends. He goes by the name of No Emotion, by the way.
Oh, I love this guy.
Okay.
I love this
guy. So
hey, you got to come on the podcast.
Yes, definitely. So
and bring the mask, the smiley mask.
So No Emotion was telling me on the way to on the way to school, like rapping about the trees and everything that was driving by, and just teaching me from that moment. And from that moment
on, you took off.
I couldn't. I was terrible, but everything I wanted to say, I said.
No, you had the self-concept. You were aware of what you liked. You were aware of what you wanted. Then you were aware of what you had to become to get to where you want to get.
And I felt like once I did it, I felt like.
What was the day that you decided? Because a lot of people think that, go through that experience, have this plan. There's people that even write things down, and then they're just like, yeah.
The day that I decided to take it serious?
No, just like actually like not serious, but like, yo, this is
that I just liked it. Was
kind of like
that
you
day
transformed into that entity
that day.
That day?
Yeah, I started looking for who I was that day.
What music was playing in the radio around that time? What was popping?
Yo, let me tell you. He would love mind you, this is his older brother that was in charge of everything.
Okay.
So he was responsible for our music and everything.
Okay.
So we was listening to Onyx.
Oh, Slam. Okay.
We was listening to different Onyx songs because he was big on B-side stuff.
Okay. For those that don't know, B-side is the backside of the record.
Kill Army.
Okay, Killer Army was
Boot
awesome.
Camp Click.
Boot Camp is one of my favorite.
People
Sean
like
Price,
that.
Rest in peace.
Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter, Rock and Rock. I love it.
Like, these are people that like.
Yeah, this is the ill shit. This is what I was listening to when I was in the beach, and I always got told that, you think you're New Yorkin, and I'm looking at them like, yo, I'm just listening to like the illest shit that I could possibly find.
Facts.
I don't want to hear 69 Boys.
It's a different
I don't want to
world.
hear, I'll listen to it. I'm at a party, I'll jam to it. But when I'm at the crib chilling with myself, or I'm about to go play a soccer game or something, I throw that Helter Skelter on, and boom.
That's why they call it old school hip hop. It's a different genre.
It was just amazing. And even before that, man, when you listen to the beginning of hip hop, it intrigued me, bro. It intrigued me a lot. So I was like, you know what? This is dope. I understand.
You can never reproduce that sound ever. Like, no matter what anybody tells me, I don't care. Like, and I say this respectfully. Like, people will tell me, like, I was talking about this with somebody the other day. They were like, yo, Joey Badass. And I like Joey Badass. But you can never replicate that sound because there's so much.
You think he's trying to replicate it? Or you think
I don't think
he's.
I think he likes that sound and he comes from that sound. So, like, it's going to naturally kind of like.
Yeah, it comes from
I don't
within
think he's like,
yo,
it needs to sound like if RZA, like, I don't think that. But even, like, how about this? Even if RZA produced a track right now, it just wouldn't sound the same because, like I said, it's different world. There's different cables. There's different mechanics. There's different atmospheres, different energy. Like, yo, you just, and that's, I say that respectfully because we shouldn't try to recreate that.
No, it should just influence. And maybe
inspire. I don't like when people try to recreate greatness.
I mean,
like
there's worse things that you could do, though.
Yes, you know okay. I don't mean it like that. I mean it in a sense of like when something's dope, leave it. Make something else dope.
You might mess it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we do re-movies, like, like they're like,
Point Break. Like, you shouldn't have done that.
They made another Point Break.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
exactly.
Oh, you just broke my heart, and I don't want to ever
Don't
see
watch it.
No,
Don't
I'm
watch
never
it.
going to.
Don't watch it. And then
But you see what I'm saying though, like things like that, like how horribly have they done a job with Willy Wonka? It's been like 2 or 3 movies that they've remade of it, and
I didn't really when I watched Willy Wonka, I didn't watch the acting or hear the acting. I was looking at the graphics the whole time. I'm like, yo, this is dope the way they're doing. Because if you look at Willy Wonka at the beginning,
yeah,
it
they're
was
dope,
terrible.
but they're not better than the original.
The story, no.
Like this is what I'm saying. Like it's cool.
graphics,
yo. But okay, but that's like saying Superman. All the Superman movies are better, but they're not better than the OG Superman.
Yeah, because okay, if we compare it to music, they don't write lyrics how they used to write lyrics. So they wouldn't write screenplays
But they
the
wouldn't
way they write screenplays
because
now.
you can't recreate those lyrics. You can't like that's what I'm saying is you got to leave
So
things
we're
in their
evolving to a
respective
point.
greatness.
You think we hit the peak and then
No, I think everything in music seesaws.
I like that.
I think everything is always going to be like I say this a lot to my friends. I think everything's always like lyricism, production. Lyricism, production. And it like when I do this, like sometimes it gets here, sometimes it gets here, sometimes it gets here, sometimes it gets here. But like it's gonna always
so
do
you
this
think
because
that's why Kanye blew because he had both.
yeah, like I think
I see that point.
I think it's always like the complete opposite.
Okay.
Like you'll get like let's just say Red and Blue, right? Like Red will start doing something so cool that 80% of the world is gonna hop on the Red bandwagon.
And then Blue will come out of nowhere.
But then that 20% is gonna start birthing whatever and gaining more friends, and then all of a sudden that Blue creates such a hype that they start gaining more people and Red start going, and it's just it's back and forth. Like it's that's how I just look at it. It's yin and yang, but like I don't know, with music, it's always complete opposite spectrums. I feel like that go to
I feel
that it goes to.
So that's how you create, pretty much. You're not trying to like do what they've done, but at the same time, you're trying to like find the seesaw, I guess.
I'm an expressionist that likes to find the pocket of what feels good at the moment.
Okay, how did you get to that decision?
Oof.
Failing?
No,
The piano, the day of the piano?
No, trusting my instincts and my ticks.
Message.
Yes.
'Cause that's what I'm trying to get across, man, because a lot of people second guess themselves and they don't listen to their intuition and they don't listen to their feeling, their gut feeling.
When you ever say something to a girl that felt so good that you felt a zing inside you that was like, "Ooh, I hit that fucking that sentence so hard she don't even know what to say right now." Right? You ever say something like that too?
I mean, yeah, I've been around the world. You know?
Okay, so it's the same feeling like when you doing music, when you're writing a book, when you're creating art,
You feel
and
the
you
same
just
feeling?
look at it and you just feel a ding, and it just reverberates through your whole.
Oh, I get it now.
Your whole
I get
soul.
It now. I get it now. I was kind of thinking about it.
You're
I feel you.
you're like, yo, that's when you know how to tune into that tune, that
Oh,
vibe.
you've learned how to tune into that?
I know how to recognize it.
Nice. Okay, recognition. Okay, yeah. I got you.
Like, I don't want to tell you that I'm going to find it right now. Like, it may take a couple seconds or minutes or whatever it takes, but I know how to recognize it.
And when did you know that you knew how to recognize?
When every time I trusted my gut before, somebody
So take us
later
there.
on.
What was the first time that you listened to that gut feeling? You kind of like analyzed things, situations, and then you had a plan and you went and did it. And then you were like, all right, bet.
Well, now that you say it, I guess it kind of did a little bit. I got there, yes. I got there through failure because a lot of things that I thought were right wouldn't catch like I would want them to catch or wouldn't be received the way I'd want them to be received.
So you had to let go of ego.
And I would, and then little by little, I'd be like, okay, maybe I wasn't right. And then when people would like something, I would be like, that's oddly weird because I was kind of embarrassed about that, but I felt something special.
Yo, that's how your voice was?
Yeah,
that's
like so, like
weird.
So, like I would be like, all right,
That's awesome.
that's how I'm gonna do it. Then I kept every time that would happen, I kept getting closer to just being in tune
Where
with
you wanted
myself
to
and
get.
honest with myself to be like, yo, because a lot of the great things that I do, I was embarrassed about.
Okay. I know where you're going with this.
So like for me, like I said, it was finding that like every time somebody would be like, yo, I really like that. Like in my heart, I would be like, yo, you don't know how pride I had to let go to do that part, or like,
or get through anxiety.
just because I kind of felt like maybe like, okay, like for an example, maybe I wanted like I'm just gonna example. This is not even maybe not even true for all I know. I could have wanted like a Justin Timberlake sounding hook, and Justin Timberlake's not around.
That's not a bad thing.
So I had to do it.
Oh, and you sang it,
So I would sing it.
and they didn't know it was you.
And then maybe they wouldn't know it was me, or they would, but they would be like, yo, I really like that. In my whole head, I would be like, yo, I'm gonna get somebody to replace this.
Yeah, this is just the melody. I'm gonna get somebody that could sing.
And then people would be like, yo, no, but I really like you on it. And like, so like I said, like, yo, like at that moment when I was doing it, I
Yeah.
felt like I hit
Like,
that pocket, like I'm in tune with it.
Okay, I could do this.
I'm doing it exactly how I wanted it in my head.
Yeah, that happened to me. I know exactly what you're talking about when I cutting hair. So as a barber, when you're coming up, you're always like, yo, let me cut your hair. Let me cut your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, people are like, yo, sus, you know, like, yo, nah, I don't know, man. Nah, I'll be like, come on, let me line you up at least, you know? So then you do a lineup, and then they'll tell you like, yo, man, thanks, it looked good. And then somebody will tell you, yo, let me get one because you did a good. So I know what you're talking about. That little feeling that you're like,
You
I
feel
could do this.
Yeah,
and then you want to do it even more.
It's autopilot almost. Like you're like,
Nice. I like that. So that way, what, middle school, you were 15, 16 years old?
yeah, when I'm feeling that, no. When I got to that point, we're talking about like out of I went to SAE, which is School of Audio Engineering in Miami.
Okay, so high school was just fucking around.
High school was
Just
was
having
just
fun, chilling.
high school was me leveraging the fact that I could rap better than most of the people around me, and I would just do that. You know who I went to school with for a year was Pretty Ricky.
Word?
Yeah, and
Nice.
Blue,
Yeah.
who was the main guy,
Yeah.
he used to be I give him credit because he used to be very business savvy and PR savvy, even in high school. He used to
Okay.
be like, yo, meet me in the blah, blah, blah behind this
organized
thing.
things very
And
well.
then he would get over there, he'd be like, listen, everybody out here looking for some blah, blah, blah. He'd be like, you're gonna beef with me. I'm gonna beef with you. My brothers is gonna beef with Adi. Adi is no emotion, by the way. Well, and because me and Adi was still, we were a duo at this point. Like
Okay.
we were the best rappers in our school, respectively, right? And so even like things like that, like they started putting me on a business
like a
sense.
skit type of deal?
Not a skit, but like, yo, like go to the middle of the lunchroom and say you want to battle me, and then we would battle in the middle of the lunchroom.
Nice.
And
A show.
yeah, and build
Showcase.
and build a show, yeah, and make people talk about it for days, and then we would come in and sell our music
And what made you agree to this?
because I saw the genius in it.
Nice. So again,
Everybody
self.
used to make fun of them because they used to match everything they did, their colors, their outfits. I used to go to South Beach and see them. Yes, their father was,
Why would they make fun of him? I don't get it.
because they would wear DuckTales, shiny suits.
Oh,
And things like that.
Oh, got
But
it,
guess
got it,
what
got it.
that made them do? Stand out above
Yeah, everybody
everybody.
knew who they were.
And like everybody else hated on that.
Genius.
But for whatever reason, I always listened when everybody would hate, and I would look for what the gold is in there. Like I would be like, yo, if everybody's bothered, there's something there. And I would always, like I said, I would respect him so much because I'll be like, yo, that's a great idea.
Wow.
And it worked. Like, and we would sell music and make money. And
So in high school, you guys were already making a showcase. You were too little. What? Just for the say of it, it's an East West Coast type deal. Like,
Oh,
oh, you're that.
hold on, I do
this.
want to say this because I've never talked about this. To backtrack a little bit, the time that I knew I wanted to be an artist, like take it a little more serious, was in high school. I did a talent show, and I did "If I Ruled the World" by Nas with a girl that I knew could sing,
Nice.
and that was like the attention.
That was
and
the first time on
the
stage.
cheers and everything. Yes, that I was like in control.
And that was when that track dropped, and everybody
It
was
was
jamming?
probably a couple years after.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd probably love that song forever. And just that
song's
was
good.
the song that I knew heart, like line for line.
Is there any video of that anywhere?
I wish.
That would be awesome.
They
You put
never.
it-
It might be. My mom might have some
Ask
stored
her, man.
away.
Be like, mama, what's up?
Well, she's been slowly turning all our old videos into digital videos.
There you go.
So like, I'll wait for it. It's coming probably.
Nice. So yeah, so you started pretty much getting the self-concept done in high school. Then out of high school, when you start recording and really getting towards this artistry that you have now.
Pretty much out of high school, I went to a regular college in Tallahassee. I was gonna go to FSU, didn't get accepted, so I went to TCC. Started doing stupid things over there and not paying attention, and just like realized that school was not like
Your thing.
my thing. Like I felt like I was a very
understand.
good student,
Yeah, I could learn.
but what I was learning didn't intrigue me.
Bro, I felt this.
And I kept going back to music. And every time I kept thinking about it, one day somebody was like, you know, you can make money in music if you do more than music. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I mean, do more than rap. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I came back to Miami because I had a year that I failed over there, just like bombed out. And I went to a studio in Miami, and the engineer was like horrendous. And every idea I kept giving him, he couldn't get when I wanted to record my songs.
So you got frustrated.
So I went to another studio and the same thing. And I was like, yo, I got to learn how to do this myself.
Nice.
And I found the school. I was going to go to Full Sail in Orlando.
Okay.
I didn't like it because they were rock-based.
Oh, I get it.
Everything was live instrumentation. That's what they were basing everything off. SAE was a little bit more advanced. They wanted to teach you how to...
Where's that?
In North Miami.
Okay.
They wanted to teach you how to make production, how to engineer, how to everything. So I was like, yo, that makes me a lot more in control of myself and my music if I learn this. So I did what I did to get my money, went to school.
Learned it. Got your tools, you got your skill set, and then you took off.
And I took off from there.
Nice. Damn, you see, from the beginning, from that sandbox all the way to now, you went through trials and tribulations. You made decisions. You made wrong ones. You made good ones, but you got to where you got. Is there at any point that you doubted yourself? Or that you made a mistake or anything like that?
I doubted myself every quarter step of the way.
Message.
Yeah, there's always, I feel like to not doubt yourself may even be ungodly. Like how dare you feel like you're just perfect?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like
what is life if it's not a challenge? Like I don't want to just go through life like even the most confident person, I'm sure, has his moments.
Everybody has their doubts, whatever they say. But like I always tell people, like, why do you want so much or feel so bad that you don't have anything? When we truly, in nature, the reality is we don't own anything.
Don't at all. Literally nothing.
You can't take nothing. You don't own nothing.
0%.
All you really, truly do have is your faith, your beliefs, your character, and you move on with that and you're good. I mean, in a sense, people get upset like, oh, man, I can't afford this, or I can't get this, or I want to get this, or like depression. I'm looking at them like, yo, you're blessed beyond belief and you don't realize it because you're not even thinking in that mindset. So it's good that you said that. Every step of the way you were doubting yourself, but you're like, nah, I'm doing this because this is what it is. You develop the self-concept and let's go. No fear.
You got to check yourself at all times still. Like, you can't ever just think that you're always right. And I feel like a little bit of doubt is important.
Okay.
Definitely.
So you had doubt. After the doubt that you executed, you got the praises, you started feeling the click and the spark, and then you kept going with it.
Yeah, I think I did this opening for Rick Ross, which is where I got my name, Dashius Clay, right? And I felt like when I got on there and I did my show, I felt the same exact thing that I felt when I did the piano thing, where I wasn't ready for that stage.
But you were ready this time.
No, I wasn't ready.
You wasn't ready.
I thought I was. But I was like, yo, I'm missing production now. I'm missing a stage presence. I'm missing mechanics.
You went out there, you had the record, but you did not know how to execute it. Oh, I get you.
So like now it's like a whole nother thing where it's like everything was like an advancement of who I was.
Did you rehearse? You didn't even rehearse.
I did rehearse. But like I rehearsed on a small stage, not thinking big.
Oh, and when you got there, it was big.
It was a big stage. We're talking about Rick Ross. So like,
yes, sir.
Like I'm thinking, I think I got it in the bag. I killed this little stage, and then when you get out there, there's people looking at you that are not there for you. They do not. They did not know me from a hole in the wall. So
where was this at?
This is at the Heat Arena.
In the back.
Yeah. So like, I for the first time, I realized then doing music, like, these aren't my fans. I have to win them over.
What year was this? Do you remember?
I don't remember what year this is.
So is Rick Ross coming up or? Rick
Yeah,
Ross
it's just like Rick Ross. Like he's Rick Ross, but
so let's just say 10 years ago.
yeah.
All right, bet.
And I felt like yo, like I can't go through this music thing thinking that everybody's my fan. I got to do something that people like.
Yeah.
So
remember
like
you by.
now I got to balance the expressionism that I control myself based off with, like I said, I got to start basing things down to the point where I'm like, yo, I'm not losing everybody else. Like I'm taking care of myself enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm taking care
doing
of them
like
enough.
what you said. You're on a seesaw. You're trying to keep it mellow. That's good. That's a good thought. And somebody told you for that, or you're all in your mind?
No, that's all in my head.
Damn. See, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like every artist, every person that I've interviewed has told me things of that nature. That like, yo, I kind of like analyze and think and use my intuition, use my gut feeling. And then the experiences come, and then from there, they continue to build from that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what this podcast is about, man. It's about being able to express and share with people that, look, man, just because you're successful or you did good things doesn't necessarily mean you know what you're doing.
Oh, 100%.
You're just learning how to spar, and then you're getting better at it. And then you're going, but you never quit. And that's why I love you said that. You're like, yo, every step of the way, I was doubting myself. I wanted like,
Because there's always more to learn. Like, I literally think that I'm a different version of myself every single day. Like, I think back a week, and I would not make the mistake I would make today a week ago. I feel like
evolve.
no matter what, I'm
You
always
evolve, you
evolving.
learn, you grow, and that's what life's about, man.
After this conversation, I'm sure I'm going to evolve a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just things like, because like now I'll have spoken them out in the air, and I'll probably go back and think about this for the next 6 hours and be like,
really
yo,
cement it in.
There may be some things that I've said that I'm like, yo, I'll probably never say that again, or I should have said that differently.
But do you believe that it's been written and everything we're doing is just a play? Because that's where the faith comes in. If you were meant to be somewhere and be something, everything you do or say is not really relevant because you're gonna end up there.
I'm gonna apply the same thought of balance to that. Like, I think everything is vaguely written.
Vaguely, okay. Let's embark in that. Vaguely.
I think you have the opportunity and options every day to write your story, but the path is semi there for you. It's just which way are you choosing at every turn?
Choices.
Yeah, like you can be given a gift and not use it.
Yeah, you might make the wrong decisions, but like my point is, like, say you do make all the wrong decisions.
Mm-hmm.
If you really truly believe in your faith and you truly believe that, okay, if I'm a good person, I'm doing what I got to do, and I'm trying my best, but I make bad decisions. Let's just say picking a beat, you pick the wrong beat, and then the other beat blows up with some other artist. You're like, damn, I could have gone that direction. So it might have taken you longer to get to the destination that you're destined to get. So that's exactly what I'm saying. Do you think that the decisions you made were correct at times, wrong at times, and it got you to the place where you're supposed to be, or you think you're still more?
Oh, I think that's such a loaded question. I think I'm grateful to be where I'm at. I know I could have been a lot higher if I had listened to my gut a lot more. I know I could have been a lot lower if I had chosen the wrong things a lot more.
So
because there's a lot of times where I look at things and I'm like, I could have done this. I was tempted to. I could have done that.
Yeah.
Maybe I did this.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes I play it safe too. And it's the stupidest thing to do is play it safe.
Depends on who you're telling.
Maybe that's
Depends
it's not the stupidest thing to play
to.
it safe. But I believe life is so short that we should definitely be a lot less fearful.
There shouldn't be fear.
Like
that's what I tell my clients all the time, because they be having these like doubts and fears. And I'm like, yo, man, if you're a righteous person, you shouldn't have fear.
Okay,
because
yes.
your energy is going to take you to the spot where you're asking, wanting, and needing to be. And if you have a strong faith, the creator, however you want to call him,
Yep.
will take you to that place. But now to get to that place, you might have to go through a little bit of turmoil. Not your decision. So that's why I'm like, yo, take the wheel, yo. I'm just going to try to do as best as I possibly can. And then like help as many people as I possibly can.
Yep.
And control that little evil thoughts, you know? Like we said, first thought, nothing. Second
I
thought.
just think lead by example
Yeah.
at all turns.
Yeah, but nowadays it's difficult to have that type of mindset because of all
But
the
like you said, you
trickery,
gotta have
all the
faith.
AI. Correct.
Because if you don't, you're going to fall trap and fall victim to what these people want you to fall victim to. You're going to fall into the exact thing that they're looking like. They say misery loves company. I look at misery on different spectrums, and they will entrap you because that's what they want. So like I said, this is why I compartmentalize everybody, because I don't ever want to feel that moment that I felt when I was 5 years old, getting hit by the sand unexpectedly, knowing.
Yeah, but okay, this is my point. What if that wouldn't have happened?
Then I may not be here doing this.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So you just said you don't want people to do that. So in my mind, I'm like, what do you mean? If that wouldn't happen, we would be sitting here. So my point to that is keep the faith.
Yeah, facts. You're not wrong there.
And do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And follow that intuition with knowledge of self. Conduct yourself properly.
Yeah,
be
facts.
righteous. Create a self-concept that's to your liking. And keep it moving.
Well, it's extremely important to be righteous, and it's extremely important to do right by everything, because aside from karma, the universe, and
Karma,
God,
believe it.
you know, like
Universe doesn't make mistakes. So karma is real, yo.
and it's important. I don't know. Like I told you, man. I think it's important. I would want everybody to treat me like you know, they would, like, I would want them to treat my mom or whatever. Like, I treat everybody like I would want them to treat my mom. And like for me, I never let that go. Like if I can't deal with people, I hide.
Okay, deal with people that hide what emotions, thoughts.
No, I just hide. Period.
Got it.
You get what I'm saying? Like if I can't handle people in any level, I'm not gonna come out, because I'm never the one that's gonna give anybody bad energy. I'm never the type of person.
Yeah, no,
Like,
never have I ever.
I'm gonna give an example, and this is so stupid for me to say, but I want to say this, right?
Okay, go for it.
I've been in the hospital 3 times in the past month,
Oh wow.
but nobody would know that, because I would never put that on nobody.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
people love to like pour their heart out, and I'm never.
You're more private.
I'm that. It's not even about privacy. It's like, yo, people have enough bad stuff going on in their life.
Why would I add to that?
Like, what is it? Like, as an example, let's just say I were to go on social media and be like back at the hospital, right? What is anybody going to be able to do about that?
I mean, thoughts.
Well,
energy.
wishes, yeah. And while I would be so grateful and everything for that, it's not needed.
It's not in your character to want to.
I want to give people light and energy and positivity and great things.
Or only see, like, who was the ESPN commentator, man, the one that died of cancer? That he had 2-toned eyes.
I know what you're talking about.
That nobody knew he had cancer, and the whole time he's like, "Hey guys, welcome," and everything.
Chad Boseman.
Until it got really bad.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yo, guys,"
and God forbid, like I'm good. I just had a moment, but I just say that to say, like, I'm the type of person where, like, yo, if I can't bring my best to people, I won't be around. Because I'm not going to be that guy that I was telling you. I'm not going to attract misery.
You're not wrong.
I don't want to give that to nobody. Like, I want to always be a positive in people's life.
That's something to be proud of.
And sometimes being a positive is speaking negatively. Not speaking on the negatively. Not negatively.
Speaking on the or being negative, because you negative, another person can see, like, I don't want to be like that, or I don't want to say things like that.
No, I think for me, like, it would be speaking on, like, I can speak on the negative and be positive. Because I don't want people to think that I come around every time like, hey, how you doing, man? What's going on? You know, like no, I could definitely talk about some negative shit.
I don't think you should worry about what people think, though. I think you should not worry. I think you should just, like we said, be you, man. Because but that's what attracted me when I first heard of Dashius Clay. I was like, yo, and then I was like, oh, he's Colombian.
But that's me.
Let me check him out. But I didn't know how you look, so I was like, yo, he's Colombian. Let me hear him. And then I was like, yo, he got flow. And then it's like, yo, he has a video. Let's watch the video. And then when I saw the video, I was like, oh shit, he's a white boy.
But that's
But
what I
then
mean.
they're like, nah, he's Colombian. I'm like, oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna speak unless I have something to say. Is what I mean.
I feel you.
Like in that statement. Like when I mean I disappear or I hide. Like I'm not the type of guy to talk.
I get you. And if you do, yeah, when I hear you speak, you're like I said, when I saw you do the post, and I was like, yo, man, he's speaking the truth. We got to bring him in.
Because like, yo, content is nothing. I could speak all day if I wanted to. I could rap all day if I wanted to. I could do a million things all day if I wanted to. I could go on automatic pilot, but I wanted to have that ding. That ding.
And when was the last time you felt the ding?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah?
All the time.
Okay. Awesome. So
when I put on this outfit.
What
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I put on my thing.
You checked it out.
I was
like
like, yo, ding. Like I put on the last thing I did was put on a jacket. I was like, oh.
Okay, I
let's
feel
go.
you. I feel you. That's dope. Oh man, that was great. Yo, yeah. So is there anything we missed out on the journey, man? Because we spoke a lot about self-awareness, self-concept. Is there anything that you, like you said, you went back in time, you're like, yo, but this part about the piano, is there anything else that you may think of?
Life itself, experiences itself, applying everything that I've learned in life to everything that I've learned in life.
Nice.
Like everything has, to me, everything is everything. Like what I went through in relationships, I applied to music. What I went through in careers, I applied to music. What I went through in music, I applied to life. What I read in books about business, I applied to my music. What I learned about music, I applied to my designs. Like everything for me is interconnected, and it's just
together. So if you could go back in time right now and talk to yourself, say right when in that bus, when you're about to go and learn how to rap, and what would you tell that kid?
You're not wrong to be scared, but
Frankie fears your friend. It's your best friend.
But if you don't jump, you may lose your feet.
Okay, I've never heard that one, but okay. Sounds good.
I totally just made that up, but like I'm just saying, like
that's
that's how I
means,
feel.
But it sounds.
That's
good.
that's how I feel. Like if you don't jump, you may lose your feet. Like you may
might not be able to.
You may try to jump later on, and
if
you
can't. Don't jump when you can. You might not be able to jump. Okay, I get it.
So it's like don't be so scared all the time.
Got it.
Like take the chance when your heart tell you something.
Yeah.
Do it. So many people act off pride and not heart.
Self-awareness, man. I keep preaching it because that's what saved me. Because I didn't have nobody to tell me anything. All I had was lyrics, music, movies, and then I had to like make decisions and be like, okay, cool. And then when I got older to be like, yo, this is all make believe. Now I got to really deal with real situations. I used it as references, you know what I'm saying? So you build your self-concept, and then it just brought me to where I'm at. But I was always in the listen to my gut, because that was what made, like, for instance, when I was a kid, I would steal baseball cards, gum. I didn't have bread. I couldn't. And that feeling would suck. Like, I would have it, and I would be happy that I had it, but I had this empty gut feeling. I'm like, bro, I don't like this feeling. But then when I would purchase something, the feeling wasn't there.
Facts.
So that's when I was like, bro, I'm not stealing that shit.
Yep.
I'm not stealing that shit. And then people are like, well, what do you mean?
You aligning.
I aligned it. I did it. So now with that said, before we finish up, because I know you got things to do, I always ask a few questions at the end, and then we go dive in.
Go for it.
So you saw the movie The Bronx Tale, right?
Uh-huh.
So in The Bronx Tale, remember when he was talking to Sonny, and so he asked him, would you rather be feared or loved?
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that?
Oof. Balance.
So
everybody
both.
gets a different percentage.
That's a new one.
Some people I gotta make sure they fear me 30% and love me 70%. Some people vice versa.
Nice. That's a good one.
Compartmentalize.
That's a good one. I never thought of it like that. That's a good one. Next one. Perception or reality?
No, reality.
All day?
Yes, because those are the ones that, like, when you're in tune with reality, nothing is matrix.
Doesn't matter what perception you see. You just keep going with the real.
When you're in reality, you can change perception.
Correct. All right. And then knowing or understanding.
No, you have to understand, because no, you could know red, but if you understand what red is, then you know what it is.
But then again, think about it. What is red? Our interpretation of what we've been taught.
Yeah, but I feel like when you know, like, how about this? If you know me, like, you before this, you know me.
Yeah.
Now you understand me a little more.
Correct.
So, like,
So
you can't
understanding.
know me a little more. You understand me a little more right now.
Nice. I like that. And then the last one is, what do you think about good problems?
Well, I think good problems is the most needed thing to become. A good problem is sometimes a bad problem in disguise.
Nice.
So, like, you need that to be challenged and become greater in all aspects.
Nice. Okay. Yo, that was dope. I like that. Yeah, man, those were the questions, brother. I just appreciate you coming in.
Thank
we
you,
had a
man. Thank you.
blast. And we'll do it again, man, because I know you're going to have projects. You're going to have things. And
Yeah,
then
most
you're more than
definitely.
welcome to come whenever you want, man.
I got you.
And, yeah, just let everybody know where to find you. Give them all your handles, what's coming up and what's new, and then let them know.
All my handles are at Dashius Clay, Dashius Clay, Clay. And just, like, you can go on YouTube. Is probably the best place to see videos and music. My Instagram is probably the thing that I'm most active on. My website is where I design my clothes and my sneakers. And other than that, just, I'm always creating. I'm always there. So,
We appreciate it, yo, Dash.
yo,
Appreciate you. Forever grateful, man. Thank
Love
you.
and platinum.
Bless. Hey, guys, live, love, laugh. Keep it moving. Peace.
I appreciate that so much, bro.
I caught you at a